Hello, today I'll be showing how to connect your phone to the Trimble DA2 or phone or iPad, whatever you're using to collect data points, and then how to take some points in ArcGIS as well. So first thing, I want to make sure that the Trimble device is connected to your Bluetooth. So when you connect the battery to it, you press the button, make sure that it's flashing blue. That means that the Bluetooth is on, and it should show up shortly. There it is. All right, so I'm connected. And then I'm the mobile manager app. And if you go to your position source, you should be able to list the available devices, and your connected device should be what you're connected to on Bluetooth. So in order to get the reading that you want, first of all, you have to make sure that this connect to position source is activated. You need to check your GNSS configuration. So make sure that both of these are set to auto, detection and correction source. And then also, very important part to get the datum that you want is to make sure you're using the correct geoid. I don't think geoid 18 is the default, but in my case, I want to get readings in NavD88, which should be pretty typical for vertical elevations. So in this case, I need to make sure that geoid 18 is downloaded and being used. So this is a very important thing to check every time before you go to start taking points somewhere, or else you're going to have a hard time converting your points to the right elevation or knowing what geoid you were using in general. So then if you go back to home, you can begin to see some readings from the device. And you can read how many satellites we have in the area. In the top left, there are 10. I'm kind of close to a building right now, so I think the reading is not as accurate as it normally is, but let me move out of the way a little bit. There we go. So now we're within 2 centimeters accuracy, and we have our orthometric height, which is what we want there at the bottom. So now, in order to take some points and connect to field maps, let's see. If I jump over to field maps, you already need to have your map set up in order to do this. So you need to do some pre-work in GIS. You can see how to do this in my other video. I already have a bunch of maps loaded, but first things first, you're gonna log in. You have different settings here for your minimum accuracy, other miscellaneous things you can change. But in order to take any points, you need to make sure your provider is set to the device that you're currently connected to. I think this is correct. Yes, 122. So this is the Trimble device I'm connected to right now. And another important thing to check before every time you take points is the antenna height. So the poles that I use are set to a standard 2-meter height. So I make sure that's set to 2 meters unless I am trying to measure it from the surface of the water, or if I take it off the pole, or if I have to shrink the pole. Whenever I make changes, you have to double check that's correct, or else it's going to change your reading. And then also, in order to take points, you need to set up a profile. So in this case, based on the website tutorial I watched and what works for me, I set my profile to have this formatting. I think you can run into some errors with this because of the coordinate system of the base map in ArcGIS. I consistently use these inputs because it's what works for me, and I'm able to get the readings that I need. So you can mess around with this a little bit, but I tend to go with this setup, which is what works for me. You can note these numbers. The 6318, 3857 is what you need to put into the search bar when you make your own profile, like this. So you can use that profile. And my units are all set to what I want them. So I'm pretty much ready. And all I need to do is select the map that I made that includes the feature class, the data class that I'm going to be using for this collection. So let's just say I use this map. So once I press on that GPS not available, it'll automatically kick back to the mobile manager app and then kick back to Field Maps and connect to my device. So now you can see it's providing all of the readings from the DA2 in Field Maps. You can see my altitude, that's in Nav D88 right now, which is what I want. It's using my profile. It's giving me the vertical accuracy I want and letting me know it's RTK fixed. I keep location sharing on from my phone. I think that just helps to improve the accuracy. So now if I take me back to where I am right now, this is where I'm standing at UGA. And you can press this bottom in the lower right to take a point. I can take a picture there. I can name it, like test point. And once I press submit, it'll add that point to the data set. I can also press on previous points and edit them from before in case you need to change the name or you need to retake the reading of a certain point. You can do that. You just press on it and update the point, and it'll give you a new reading. So then you'll be able to access this map on your computer with your updated points. You can download it as a shapefile, whatever you need. And yeah, so I would refer to the other video on how to get started in GIS. But for now, this is how you use your mobile device to take points with the Trimble DA2.